Hey everyone, Kale with Antique Book Collective, and today I'm getting to you guys with a video on gilding in old books. So right off the bat, guys, I wanted to say one of these things is not like the other thing. Well, actually there's two that aren't like the others, but I was just wondering if you guys could see right off the bat which ones of these are antique books and which ones are not, based solely on the gilding of these books. I know there are some other things that you can see that might give you a hint, but I'm just going to let you guys once again take a close look which books are antique and which ones are not. Just a little hint right here, three are antiques and two are not. So a couple more seconds. You guys drop your guesses in the comments. You better say it before I actually tell you, so gotta give you a couple more seconds. Say your guesses. And you can pause it if you want to get more time to write, but I'm calling it there. So if you guys are astute booksellers, you might be able to tell right off the bat which ones are antiques and which aren't, based solely on the gilding. And the reason for that is newer gilding in books, guys, it is not the best. So with that said, I'm going to remove the shiniest gilded book, which is this one. And if you guys are astute booksellers, you probably know this one's not the newest, not the oldest one in the set, based solely on the fact that it is so shiny. But in addition to that, the gold color, while it is pretty accurate to real gold, it's not 100% there, and it's also just incredibly shiny, which you don't normally see in antique books. So I'm just going to set that down for now, and I'm going to hold these up again. And now that we don't have as shiny of a one, you could sort of guess which one's not quite like the others with this lineup. And of course, that one that is not like the others is this one. And this one is what I find is more the norm for the newer books, where the gilding is just like not right. There's something about the gold on these newer books that you just look at and you're like, something's fishy. You know, you see it and you're like, that's not like the gold I know. And even if you haven't seen a whole lot of gold in your life, you just know right off the bat, it's like, I don't know, that just seems yellow. Like, not gold, that's yellow, and not like normal yellow. We're talking like weird, shiny, funky stuff, you know? So here is the new book shiny compared to the old book shiny. And putting them together like this, like in person, it's very easy to see. I'm curious how it'll end up showing on camera. But the new books, the gilding on it, is just not up to snuff. And for me, my favorite gilding on a book is actually this one. It's on rare coins, this book. And I think it's sort of funny that this book on rare gold coins has the best gilding on it. And why do I say it's the best and the worst and all that sort of stuff? Well, let me just hold up some actual gold for you guys. So I do own a little bit of gold here and there. Personally, I'm a silver guy, but here's some gold. So I bought a gold back. Actually, I bought a few gold backs because I think they're cool. But I bought the gold backs because you can actually touch them and no one looks at you weird, because they're made to be touched. They're made to be currency, that sort of stuff. And they're actually made with real gold. But if you guys just look at the color comparison of this compared to actual gold, it's quite similar. And I'm just going to show you guys all the different books. And this one, as you guys can clearly see, the gold of the book just does not match up with the 24 karat, which is pure gold, the actual pure gold. Like, this looks more like almost a white gold. It's definitely not supposed to be a 24 karat gold lookalike. And the reason for that is back in the day, they actually used real gold on the gilding in old books. And nowadays, they just don't do that. It's too expensive in their eyes. It's too much this, too much that. But at the end of the day, the gold on this book, guys, it probably is worth like $1. Whereas like the fake stuff, yeah, it's not worth very much at all. But the look, it's just is not quite the same. And here is this one. This one, I think the color match is even better. I mean, it is clearly, I'm just going to do this to make sure that it focuses. It's clearly, this one is clearly gold on it. And yes, you can obviously make fake color golds. And yeah, lots of people have done that. There's lots of fake ways to make gold. But at the end of the day, as a bookseller, you will have to sort of figure out the color of real gold, and that will generally be a very good sign of if a book is antique or not. Because again, antique books, they used real gold on those books, whereas the newer ones, they do the lookalikes. And honestly, so many people have not seen gold in their lifetimes that they just do whatever color they're told is gold. And sometimes, as you guys saw in that this Funk and Wangle one, sometimes that real gold color that they are told is not very accurate. And with that said, on to this next book. This one is actually from a very beautiful series that I'll talk about later. But as you guys can see, this one here, The color, it's not quite 100%, so I don't actually know for certain if this one is real gold. This is a little bit newer of a book. It's a beautiful Smithsonian series, though, one. If you guys can find this set, it's worth having just because it's so beautiful. This book is from 1950, so that could be at the point that they were making the change over to fake gold for books. So honestly, if you guys did answer this as the fake antique book, you definitely could be correct. Plus, it's not a real antique since it's 1950. But the gold on it is a little bit sort of questionable, so I guess this one could be a fake as well if we're talking antiques with real gold. And finally, this last one, which I thought they did a pretty good job for it being a newer book. This is the White House Cookbook, and it's pretty new. I thought they did a better job on the color match for this one. It's not 100%, but it is pretty stinking close. And with all that said, though, guys, if you guys don't believe that a gold back is the color of real gold, here is a Philharmonic's little 10th ounce coin. As you guys can see, they are the same color. So the color match does work. I just thought the gold back would be a lot easier for the comparison. But yes, here is a real piece of, is it 4/9's fine? Let me just look really quick. Sorry. Oh yeah, they don't say if it's 4/9's fine on these. They just say fine gold, obviously written in Austrian though. But that is pure gold coin. I just can't prove it because it doesn't say there. And this one, it just says 24 karat gold, which is pure gold. So these, again, are actual pure gold, and this is the sort of color that you guys are supposed to look for in antique books for your business if you guys want to find an actual antique book. Again, if the color does not match, it's most likely not a real antique book, because around 100 years ago is when they sort of made the switch from real gold on books to all the different fake ones that they started using, which is sort of interesting because that sort of coincides when Roosevelt actually stole all the Americans' gold when he made his executive order to take everyone's gold. So that happened in the 30s, and after around the 30s is the end of when I saw gold in most of these books. And as a fun little case study, again, we have that Smithsonian book from 1950, and the gold, while it definitely could be real gold, the color just, it's not quite there. I mean, it's close, but it's like a little iffy, which I think is pretty interesting. So honestly, I wish I had like a scanner to see what the content of this is, because there are little scanners that will tell you if something's gold or not. I don't have that yet. I'll hopefully have it by the end of the day or end of the year or sometime in my life. Probably not the end of the day, but it is definitely something that could be nice, and it could be another indicator for you guys with your book businesses. I don't recommend doing it because it'd be expensive to buy that machine just for that sort of verification, but it definitely could be something that would be fun to do, fun to confirm about when they stopped using gold in gilding for books. And in addition to the gilding on the edges, of course, they also gild the covers of a lot of books. So this one, as compared to this one, it's just a whole lot harder to do the color comparison on the covers of books because the color difference in the book plus the size of it and all that sort of stuff. So that's why I didn't show you guys all that. But with that said and done, though, guys, there are a lot of cool things about the gilding in old books. From what I've learned, the amount of gold used in that gilding is not worth like carving it off and trying to sell it on its own. Yes, it might be worth $1 or $2, but the time you put in is just insane. In addition to that, there's a lot of other things about gilding, so I'll probably do a whole playlist on gilding in the near future, or far future depending, because there's so much to know about it. But it is a really cool process, and again, the new stuff, guys, it's just not nearly as pleasing as the old stuff, because the old stuff, as I said, is the real thing, and the real thing is definitely a whole lot more fun. But before I let you guys go, I'm sure you guys have also seen silver gilding in books. So for me, I don't find many antique books that have silver gilding on them, and I feel like saying gilding is not right, because gilding, gold gilding, is sort of what normal people use gilding for. But from what I've heard, you can also do gilding with silver, and as you guys can see here, this is silver gilding. Let me hold it up against the, actually maybe not the Smithsonian, since we said that's fake gold potentially. Let me hold it up against real gold. Here we go. So as you guys can see here, these two on my right are both silver, whereas this one's gold. And even interestingly enough, even though silver is owned by a lot more people and that sort of stuff, They even got the silver color wrong for most newer books. And again, I don't normally find antique books that have silver on them. I have found a couple. I don't have any on me right now, but I have found some that have silver, and back then they also did real silver. And I don't have a silver gold back. They just rolled out some gold backs, but I don't have them just yet. But I don't have that, but I do have a little silver bar right here. So just as a little comparison, you guys can clearly see the color of real silver against fake silver. It is just not there. Like, you look at this and it's just like shiny brown stuff. This is not right. And with me saying shiny brown stuff for this one's color, let me also just add though, guys, most gold color that they do for books. So here's the Smithsonian one, which I said was a little bit off. Here's the Funkin' Wangle book of the year, yearbook, which I also said was off. These are basically the same color, honestly. And then again, the actual gold on the book. So with all these lined up, I wanted to tell you guys about the color, like actually in person for me, because I'm not guaranteed, that the color is working for you guys over the camera. So I would just like to say, when you have real gold as opposed to the fake gold colors, the fake gold colors, as I said, they're just yellow, like as I've said many times. And for me, I'm not a big fan of the color yellow, so I despise it in general. But like gold, it's totally a different color. I mean, I know it's yellow, I know people call it yellow, but it's more of a earthy orangey yellow. It's got a little bit more complexity to the color. It's not just sparkly fluorescent post-it note yellow. It is a little more complex. You see it, and like as a human being, you will probably have some sort of rise in you. It's like, ooh, what is this? This is like shiny and it's cool and all these sorts of things, as opposed to yellow, shiny yellow, it burns. And again, that's because I hate the color yellow, so that's just my thing. But you guys will be able to see if you guys have any gold on, like a gold ring. Most rings aren't 24 karat gold, so if you have anything 24 karat gold, it is worth looking at the color comparison of 24 karat gold as opposed to your ring, because most rings are going to be like 22 karat and less, just because you need a hardness to the ring to have it so it actually like stays in the ring shape. Gold being very malleable doesn't make the best ring all the time. Some people love it still because of the value attached to that, but some people like to get more of the sturdiness of non-24 karat gold. But 24 karat is pure gold, and it is beautiful, and it's got, as I said, a complexity to the color. It's a little, I would almost say the word brownish compared to the really yellow fake gold colors that you see nowadays. And it's really hard to describe the exact color that it is, but if you guys can ever get your hands on anything, like honestly guys, a gold back, you can buy a gold back, which is 1/1000th of a troy ounce. These things sell for like $4 and under if you shop around right. Otherwise, it can be like $7. But it basically depends on what you guys want to do. But it could be worth just having a gold back in your wallet just to have as a quick color comparison when you guys are buying different books. Like honestly, if we're talking color comparison to find a fake or not, $4 to get an absolute answer, it definitely seems like it's worth it to me personally. That's not why I bought my gold backs. I just thought they were really cool and fun to handle. Actual gold is like, look, I'm touching it, as opposed to these you're not supposed to ever touch, and you're supposed to like look at it from afar and never touch it. Personally, I touch whatever I want because I bought it. But there definitely is a lot of different reasons for why you want to do that. This is obviously not a sales video for Goldbacks because I'm not sponsored by them. I don't even know if they sponsor people, but that'd be fun. But it is definitely something that could be interesting for you guys to do with your antique book businesses, is have a point of reference. Because honestly, most people's rings, since they're not 24 karat gold, most of their rings might match these newer color ones because it might be 14 karat or 22 karat or 20 karat or something along those lines. But 24 karat, there's just a certain color, there's a certain feel, that sort of stuff with the antique books. I know that the color might look a little bit dusty or dirty when compared to the really vibrant yellow gold that they do nowadays, but actual real gold, I mean, it does look a little bit darker because the color is not the brightest yellow in the universe. It is a little bit darker of a color of gold. So with that said, I hope that was rather informative for you guys. I hope it wasn't boring. I hope flaunting silver and gold got a little bit of excitement in there. For me, I know it would get me excited because, I mean, bars of silver are pretty stinking cool for me. As I said, I like silver. Working on doing a gold mine, but I like silver too. But with all that said and done though, guys, thank you for watching. If you guys would like to learn more about gilding in general, there is a lot of cool information about it. In fact, it used to be toxic, the old gilding in books, how they used to apply it. It used to be a toxic process. So there's a lot of cool facts about old gilding that I'd like to share, but I probably won't share unless you guys specifically ask for it. So if you do want to hear more about how gilding works, what sort of stuff about that, be sure to comment below, ask that question, because that'll really give me an indication that you guys actually care. With that said and done though, guys, thank you for watching. Be sure to subscribe. That really also helps me out as a channel, and be sure to check out one of my other videos, and I'll see you in the next one.